Imagine being 28 years old, staring at your phone, and seeing $60,000 in debt staring back at you: credit cards, a car loan, student loans, and a paycheck that barely covered rent. That was Sarah's reality in 2020. But in just 36 months, without winning the lottery, without a six-figure salary, and without help from anyone, she wiped out every single dollar. Today on District Dollar, we're breaking down exactly how she did it, strategy by strategy, so you can steal her playbook. Sarah was a 28-year-old elementary school teacher living in Columbus, Ohio. She made about $42,000 a year. Like a lot of people her age, she had accumulated debt quietly, a little here, a little there, and before she knew it, the total was $60,000. Here's the breakdown: $22,000 in student loans, $14,000 left on a car loan for a Honda she bought new. Her biggest regret: $18,000 spread across 3 credit cards, with interest rates between 19 and 24%, and $6,000 in medical bills from an emergency room visit with no insurance. She wasn't reckless, she wasn't irresponsible. She was just a normal person living in a system that makes it really easy to go into debt and really hard to get out. But one night, she sat down, opened a spreadsheet, and decided she was done. She gave herself 3 years, and she hit her goal with 2 weeks to spare. The first thing Sarah did was pick a payoff strategy. She chose what's called the debt avalanche method. Here's how it works. You list all your debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest. Then you throw every extra dollar at the highest interest debt first, while making minimum payments on everything else. Once that debt is gone, you roll that payment into the next one, and you keep going. For Sarah, that meant attacking her 24% interest credit card first. It felt painfully slow at first. But here's why this strategy wins mathematically. High interest debt is bleeding you. Every single month, every dollar you don't pay is growing. By tackling it first, you stop the bleeding, and you save the most money over time. She estimated this method saved her over $4,200 in interest. Compared to just making minimum payments, that's $4,000 she kept in her pocket, instead of handing it to the bank. Sarah had never budgeted seriously before. She knew roughly what she made, and roughly what she spent. But she'd never sat down and given every single dollar a job. That changed when she discovered zero-based budgeting. The concept is simple. Take your monthly income, subtract every expense: rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, subscriptions, everything, until you hit zero. Not because you've spent it all, but because every dollar has been assigned somewhere. When Sarah did this for the first time, she found $380 a month she didn't even realize she was wasting. Where was it going? Unused streaming subscriptions she forgot about, eating out 3 to 4 times a week, random late-night online purchases, a gym membership she hadn't used in 4 months. She cut the subscriptions, meal prepped on the Sundays, and deleted the shopping app off her phone. That $380 went straight to debt. Over 3 years, that single habit change contributed over $13,000 to her payoff journey. Budgeting alone wasn't going to get Sarah to the finish line fast enough. She needed more income. So she built what I like to call a side hustle stack, multiple small income streams. That together made a big impact. First, she tutored students on weekends through a local agency. As a teacher, this was a natural fit. She charged $35 an hour and worked about 6 hours a week. That alone added roughly $800 to $900 a month. Second, she sold stuff. She went through her apartment room by room and listed everything she didn't use on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. Old textbooks, clothes, furniture, electronics. In the first 3 months, she made over $1,400 from things that were just collecting dust. Third, she picked up occasional babysitting jobs through a neighborhood app. Maybe 2 or 3 times a month, but it added another $150 to $200 consistently. Combined, her side hustles were adding $1,000 to $1,200 every single month on top of her teaching salary. She treated every dollar from these hustles as untouchable. It went directly to debt. She never let it become lifestyle money. About 8 months in, Sarah did something most people don't even know is an option. She called her credit card companies and negotiated. Flat out called them up and asked for a lower interest rate, and 2 out of 3 said yes. One dropped from 19% to 15%, another from 22% to 17%. It took 2 phone calls and about 20 minutes of her time. She also applied for a balance transfer card, a card that lets you move existing credit card debt onto it at 0% interest for a promotional period. Usually 12 to 18 months, she transferred $8,000 of her highest interest card debt and hammered it down with no interest charges eating into her progress. Balance transfers usually come with a 3% fee. On $8,000, that's $240. But compare that to 20% interest over 18 months, and it's a no-brainer. Sarah saved over $1,500 with this move alone. One of Sarah's smartest moves was using the cash envelope system for her variable spending. At the start of each month, she put physical cash into labeled envelopes. Groceries, dining, entertainment. When the envelope was empty, she was done spending in that category. Her grocery envelope was $200, dining was $60, entertainment was $40. Before, she was spending closer to $550 in those same categories without even realizing it. When you pay with a card, spending feels abstract, but when you hand over physical cash and watch it leave your hand, your brain registers it differently. You spend less. About 18 months in, Sarah hit her first major milestone. She paid off all 3 credit cards, $18,000, gone. She cried. She called her mom. She took herself out to a $12 dinner and called it a celebration. But more importantly, something shifted mentally. The debt had felt impossible at the start. Now it felt inevitable. She could see the finish line. The car loan fell 6 months later, and 12 months after that. She made her final student loan payment. Total time, 36 months. Total debt eliminated, $60,000 on a teacher's salary. Here's what you can take from Sarah's story and apply starting today. Number 1, pick a payoff strategy and commit to it. Indecision is what kills momentum. Number 2, zero-based budget every single month. You will find money you didn't think you had. Number 3, increase your income. Even $300 to $500 extra a month changes the math dramatically over 2 to 3 years. Number 4, call your creditors. Ask for lower rates. These are tools available to everyone. Most people just never use them. Number 5, protect your progress. Put friction between you and spending. Your future self is counting on your present self to hold the line. Sarah's story isn't a fairy tale. It's a blueprint, and the blueprint is available to anyone willing to follow it. If you're sitting on debt right now, drop the number in the comments. No judgment here. This is District Dollar. Real money, real stories, real strategies. If this video helped you, subscribe. We drop new stories every week, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. See you next time.